So I welcome you to this preview video of the English Premier League, which we try to evaluate here and compile the prices for all the games to be played weekend 10th until 12th of December with the assistance of the Betmaster tool. And you can get your access to this tool as well if you follow the link in the description, and you would get a free version as well with the German Bundesliga, and there may be other interesting offers for you. Also get my evaluations of the teams here and maybe start to learn how to adjust the settings so to get out even better prices and winning prices. Or the computer advises you to bet on any price which is bigger than the true price. The true price is reflected here in the fair price, or true price is the same thing. It is the reciprocal of the probability, and the computer compiles the probability based on the evaluations of the teams and based on the goal expectancies, and it's doing it for more than 30 years already with my algorithms that I've implemented into this tool now, and I've been working with it with a similar version, standalone version, for all this time. And now it is ready for you to get the access to it and also make use of that, which was more or less a lifetime dream, which has come true, and still I'm improving with every day. So if you like the tool, if you like the videos, if you like my channel, if you like the content, leave your subscribe to it and leave your likes, or leave also comments what you think about the games or the tool itself. And I would happily, of course, give you any guides here, or give you introductions or lessons if you want, so how to use it if you think this is not so easy to do. And which I have to admit, but it's also the money print machine has not been invented yet, and it's going to be the next version of this tool. At least I'm trying to in the future to it's calculating all the possible bets for you, because I have the bookmaker comparison here. Depends which bookmakers we have here available and which you have to your which you get access to or you bet on, and if they are imported here, but usually they are pretty close to each other. Anyway, the statistical based method gives us a second voice, another impression of how those teams or games have to be evaluated, and it's doing it on basis of all the stats that I'm getting in here, and I'm rather referring to the ones that I consider important for how to evaluate the games. And there is this very touchy part which is called the conversion rate, which is needed, and it's kept here as well. And here you see some values and you see some differences. So the X goals method, that would ignore this conversion rate, which I consider important. But the X goals method, if you know about it, you can check it out yourself. You will find plenty of hints for that, but it wouldn't care for the number of shots or accurate passes or attacks or dangerous attacks or corners. It would just evaluate the chances that are coming from all those situations that I consider important. I mean, any attack is partly an approach to the goal, and it carries some potential to score, because if the opponent has the ball, or just one side has the ball usually, and if they are crossing the halfway line, there is some kind of threat to the goal, more than on this side, more than on the other side. and this I'm trying to reflect here. But about those methods, there you had to, or I had to record different videos to explain them in more depth. I'm explaining it here or there, also in my daily Twitch streams that you can watch as well. But usually they are kept in German. But if you ask me, I may well turn to English or switch to English. And here we see, what we see here is those 0-0, and it means as long as the stats or the game is not been played, I do not have any stats, so everything is 0 here. But after the game, I can instantly export the games and stats again. They are being imported into my tool. They are being exported here. Then, or I can do, and then we will see what the how the games went. And so we will have results. We'll have expectancies with this old and new method, and we will also have results that are still here. All of them 0-0, which is not the truth. They stand still 0-0, 0-0. Anyway, we can compare that on Monday. Now we are going straight into the prediction part of this one here. I'm not going through the past matches, which had not been going so badly here. Anyway, Brentford against Watford. It might possibly go with Watford here, if we get a very good price. 361 is marginally over here, which doesn't look so good to me, but we can check out here. And this statistical based method would say, obviously, Watford played a bit better. This may be on the road or so, or Brentford not so good at home. But in that case, I would really consider to bet Watford here. Why not? I mean, Brentford went down a bit, this had been obvious, and 361 is a very decent price. Of course, we can check out plenty of other things, but I'm trying to restrict it to that. We have a very slight indication here, and we have somehow the confirmation from the statistical based method that tells us maybe this is even a bit closer than this method thinks. And if you watch the teams or know a bit more about that, then you can still disapprove and say, no, I do not like this. But I think those very objective methods somehow, they are giving you a pretty good idea, right? Now we have Manchester City against Wolves. I mean, the only thing we can compare here, no one wants Wolves, but those prices are just amazing. But they all love Manchester City, which I can't disagree to. And here it would even say less goals for them and even less goals for Wolves as well. What about the conversion rate here? It is just slightly in their favor, which means this is a high superiority, but it means they are not so dangerous at the moment. Obviously they are, because they convert their chances. This is not fully reflected here, but still I would have in some sense give Wolves a chance that have recently in fact played pretty well. We get an amazingly good price, which the tool just considers too high. But we know why, because they say this is just irresistible what Manchester City are doing. They are going to crush everyone. So everyone that sees Manchester City playing or sees them on his coupon, he says, okay, I'm gonna go with Manchester City. That's why the prices are so low. Arsenal against Southampton, 163 sounds even like, I mean, we have the same game in Italy with Inter against Cagliari, or very similar game. And there are also suggested Cagliari, which you may still see here, and the prices are pretty similar as well. Arsenal Southampton 168, 4.01. 168 is above the true price, so this result-based method would say yes, go ahead. And this method here would it would say a bit more for Arsenal, but quite a bit more for Southampton. So it would very slightly disapprove. If we say now, well, Arsenal did win plenty of games, so the shape is not in this tool. Okay, they lost at Everton. Is it true? They lost at Manchester United. This is true for sure. But I thought Everton lost the last game, but maybe Arsenal had been cancelled. I'm not so sure now, because I thought the last one was a win. They lost at Manchester United, which is very true. Southampton draw, loss, also not in excellent shape, not even losing at Norwich. Well, now I'm getting even more uncertain seeing this, and I do not really like Arsenal so much, and just a small margin between 168, 163, which would in fact be eaten up by this difference here. So I would not go with Arsenal then. Chelsea Leeds, we have done 137. Leeds improved a lot, and this is 131. Would not be indicated anyway, and also not the opposite. And here would somehow say this is pretty right, maybe a bit higher on Chelsea, but not substantially, right? So we would rather stay away here, whereby we can check out the draw price, which is quite often indicated 570. Yeah, it would in fact be an idea. I mean, would I need to select all those? I mean, now I feel somehow obliged to take it because it is above the true price. Leeds have performed well. The statistical based method says it's even a bit closer. So in this case, yeah, I know for the top sides, when they play, the draw tendency is less than computers somehow is assuming here, right? But we also have bad weather in some sense, which somehow favors the tighter games in a certain sense, right? I'm not sure about England. Well, in this case, now I feel obliged. Now I'm justifying lots of those things here, which I dislike. It is an indication. We cannot fully disagree to that, so why not try it? 570, you hit rarely, but if you do so, you cover up for huge losses as well. I mean, you can lose 4 and win 1, and you're still happy. Liverpool, Aston Villa looks like a very proper price to me. 124, 693 would be a similar story. Most likely 693 is above the true price. Would this here be confirmed by that tool? Well, in fact, it would. It's like in the Chelsea game, right? So we would have to go for a couple of very huge prices. If you start to do so, you should not worry too much losing 1 or 2 or a couple of in a row. You have to trust into mathematics and the long run theory, right? It takes a while. 148 is even a bit above for Manchester United. We have 146. 148 is above. They had been disappointing midweek. And Rangnick, and here we see that even the stats, it had been terrible so far. That's why Solskjaer had to go. Now with Rangnick, we may expect something better. They lined up a B. They had a different starting lineup, 11 players exchanged. So we shouldn't rate the midweek game against Young Boys 1-1. Anyway, but here it would fully disagree. So obviously I would not bet on Manchester United, but of course I would not go against them in that case. In the Brighton against Tottenham, I'm pretty surprised here. I mean 2.05 on Brighton, but they seem to agree that Tottenham are not playing well, while Brighton are. And now we can compare here, and here it would turn it around fully and even give a bigger edge to Brighton than it does here to Tottenham. So we still, in fact, would have to go with Tottenham, but with so many things about them uncertain. I mean, this is a huge, incredible surprise to me, that 2.05, that can't be the price. But somehow you do not like Tottenham. What would you do now, right? I mean, this is turning it around, but even if I would have these values, we still would have to go with Tottenham, but it's only marginally. So I would skip this one. But I'm you know, such games really are annoying for the professional gambler in some sense, because you say, well, why skip it? What do I have to do? What is going wrong? I do not want them. Well, where are the true prices? What do I have to do? How to adjust that? Where is my mistake? Where is market going wrong? I do not know. But sometimes it's still wiser just to stay away. You say, forget about the game. Wait for them until you know what's going on, which we can't really say. Burnley against West Ham. I mean, this is, it sounds like blah blah, which I have to accept, but sometimes you just have to say, stay away from this one, ignore it, whatever it is, the prices or so. You just do not know, right? Burnley West Ham, 384, 222 on West Ham, which in case we would have, no, there's nothing. 371 I would have to consider once again. This is indicated. I mean, we have one more indicator here, which I didn't show yet, which is the amount of draws that had been played. We have 41 draws. I expected 38.1. So in general, I'm not wrong about the draw occurrence probability also. So I can't really say this is a mistake. We of course we compare here once again. Did I do that already? It says it's even a closer one. So we could, first of all, the draw would be approved here, and also a slight chance for the 1x, whereas the 366 we have to compare where the Burnley price is 366. This would be close enough, in fact, for a, I mean, we if this were the right evaluation, then we would waste a bit of money. But if we bet on the 1x, we wouldn't waste anything, and if we trust the statistical based method, then we would definitely have a bet on the 1x. So plus 0.5, 185, we can compare this as well, because if we bet a 185, we pay something like 215, the reciprocal price to 185. We pay on West Ham, we can maximum pay 222, even with this favorable West Ham United evaluation over this one. So there is a chance to go with Burnley if you like it. Of course, you still have the final vote here yourself. And I have to admit that I'm watching the Italian football and the Spanish and the German, but I'm unable to watch the UK football, which I've done for many years, and I liked it a lot. But it's not the case now. Sky, I do not know where to find it, but it's also a matter of time. When do you watch all the games, right? And when you start watching a certain league, you get into it, and you start to understand. If you just select a couple of games, it's not enough usually, but you still can try with the assistance of this tool, because it's giving you very, very good ideas of it, and it should work out. But you still should be a bit more careful with the selection of the bets, of course, and also with the evaluations you have, and trust market here or there, or check out team news and things like that. Maybe the stats in the games themselves. But the tool is going to improve and give you even more hints of where you can look and check out your bets. We have one on Burnley 1x and Leicester. It would once again here say maybe go with Leicester. They are awful. I'm trying to confirm this here, which is the case. So I definitely have to adjust Leicester here. We can check out the power rating that it's telling me here. We have Tottenham and Leicester that are just not playing well, and they are just not performing. 086, 083. This will be miles apart from those settings here. And just Leicester, I will both of them just make them average. I mean, this will have some pretty rough, well, it will have quite some impact, right, on the prices. But I think I gave them chances enough to play better, which they didn't do. And we still rate them a bit better than they actually played. So we still somehow would say, yes, go ahead, you're not that awful, right? I can recompile the prices here now and check out what it says now, but it won't go to the values of the other tool, but still it's making Brighton's late favorites. And also in the Leicester game, we can recompile it, so make it at least 170 something. But of course Newcastle are also not playing well, right? We have it 167, okay. I mean, we still would not quite be there, but given the fact that those methods say we should even go with Newcastle, because Leicester are just awful and no better than that. And so skip it for sure. Of course not Leicester, but also not Newcastle. We have to skip it. Crystal Palace, Everton, the computer would still, or this tool here would still say, well, maybe Everton have a chance. Do they? Does it say so? 336, no. It would once again maybe advise the draw. 326, narrowly. And we compare this here as well with the Everton game. Here it says Crystal Palace are much more of favorites. Yeah, not by miles, because they are also a bit less than that. No, they are a bit better, and Everton clearly less. So here it would clearly advise us to go with Crystal Palace. So another one where I would have to stay away, I have to say. So I'm not quite happy with the ones the tool found here. Burnley sounds like the only one that is very sensible, but reasonable. But it also they all like West Ham. This is why we are getting this price, and they are just playing well, which I can't disagree to. And Liverpool, Aston Villa is ridiculous in some sense, but we would say 1 and 7. Well, why not? Chelsea, Leeds, similar to that. At least we know here Leeds are a bit better, and Chelsea not fully convincing, also dropping down to 3rd place, which is where they best belong. And also Manchester City, Wolves, of course, ridiculous. Even the lowest price here, but what do I say? Ridiculous. Because we get a decent price. Manchester City not so goal prone. Wolves actually in decent shape, but you need to win just one of them to have a very, very good bargain already. Brentford, Watford, a 5th one, which doesn't sound so promising as well, of course, but those are very good prices. Thanks you anyway. It has been a longer one, but I hope you still liked it or enjoyed it or can take something from it. So thanks very much. Bye bye. See you soon.